Right, I'm gonna do intro, but thank you for sharing, Nero. Hello and welcome to Radio Wraith. My name is Wraith, and today on the podcast I'll be talking about Capture the Flag, which was a 3-day event I ran back in June. Now, this was a massive project, as live game shows always are. This one was a 12-hour war server, that's 4 hours a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, featuring 4 teams of 3. Now, it being 12 hours long is important, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Because there were 150 hours or so of footage from this without even a huge amount of overlap, because it was proximity chat, it was simply too much to do a complete video edit of this for my channel. But some of the moments from this are still absolutely iconic, so we're going to talk about it anyway. Who's we, you might ask? Well, this was a joint project between me and Nero Pop, who I would now like to welcome to the show. Hello, Nero.
Hello.
So this one was a joint project. We both lost a lot of hours and a lot of sanity in planning and preparing all this. Did you at any point have doubts about whether we would get it made or that it would go well?
I mean, I was a little bit doubtful at first, but I quickly was like, we've got something. Whatever happens will happen. I remember, if I remember correctly, I think you were the one who was more like, it's going to go wrong, but it's fine. It went fine.
Yeah.
I thought it would go fine. It was all good.
We did have some disagreements during the making of this. It was very stressful for both of us, I imagine. What was it like to actually work as an admin on a show as opposed to competing as you had in all 3 of my previous game shows?
It was interesting. Like, seeing behind the scenes and stuff, it was coming up with game ideas and things. It was really cool until you got to the game show when I really wanted to play in it. Which I couldn't do as an admin, sadly. Yeah, I'd say that was probably the saddest part. But other than that, it was great. I actually quite enjoyed it. Except I still think we should have had national anthems as the horns instead of the horns, because it would be better.
Literally everyone I have spoken to has said, Wraith, I am so glad you vetoed Nero on that. I have spoken to so many people, and I have not had anyone on your side. Sorry.
Look. Sometimes it's just about the chaos. And what's more chaotic than random national anthems playing in the background when really loudly, when you're in the middle of talking to somebody and you're like, what was that? It's more obnoxious than just a doo-doo.
Sure.
I guess it works.
So let's talk a bit about the show itself. I mentioned earlier that it being 12 hours long was important. The map was completely custom made, split into 12 slices of different biomes with a spawn tower in the middle. Now, we kind of stole a little bit of Hunger Games here, which, funnily enough, only one person ever noticed and commented on. But every hour on the hour, we had some sort of destructive event across the whole map. We made sure it was completely unbiased. Everything was predetermined long before we had any players. But sometimes, depending on where people were or what they were doing at the time, it could really mess them up or even completely reset their progress. So I think it's only fitting that we welcome a few more guests to the podcast to talk about all this. We have Maddie from Orange Team, Gerald from Yellow Team, King from Blue Team, and Sam from Green Team. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hey, Thank you for having us.
Hello.
So, me and Nero, we never told any of the contestants that these hourly events were even going to be a thing. What was going through your heads when the first horn sounded?
Sound effect scared us, to be honest.
Yeah.
Thought Loth left his phone on or something.
It was so much confusion. I remember, I think I was near Jamie at the time, and I was just like, what the hell is that? And then I think we just saw like a bunch of random stuff happen, and we were like, the hell's happening? Because you never clued us in about like this horn thing happening and random stuff happening.
The first horn, what was that one? What event was that?
It was the 3 zombies. So
Yeah.
basically, everyone just had 3 zombies spawn on them.
Well, see, the thing is, at that time, me, North, and Gamer we were all like on top of our mountain, and it was dark. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but it was dark. So we just thought it was normal zombies. It was very confusing because we were in the cave and there was quite a good couple of them, but it wasn't anything like start to panic, wonder what happened.
It was meant to be that it started off without anyone meaning to know that the hour events were a thing. So like we wanted to keep it kind of subtle.
Yeah.
And like so maybe you piece it together after maybe a second one where the big
The forest
spoilers,
fire.
forest fires. But by the third one, which was the Anvil rain, that was when it was obvious that
Something was going on.
something was going on. Yeah, something bigger than just, oh, there's a few zombies.
I mean, for my team, it was the same scenario with the zombies spawning. It freaked the hell out of me and Minnie. Motion was God knows where, and me and Minnie were in a cave next to each other, and we just had 6 zombies spawn on us in a 2x1 hole. So it was not very fun, but we survived.
If I remember correctly, I think Sam, the green team had the worst case of the zombies.
I think we instantly died to a lot of them, so we were really badly off when it came to capture the flag. We didn't have a lot of resources, so we just kept dying to them, like no matter what.
Unfortunately, at that time, I was invisible in creative mode, and I think somebody from Green Team actually ran into me and started. I think it was Jamie Calypsian. I think it was him that started saying, "Hey, there's someone here! Stop spawning zombies on us!" And I had to back out of that so quickly because obviously this was all meant to be completely unbiased. And they thought that we were actually bullying them. So, yeah, it was a little bit awkward, but after that point, I made sure to go into spectator mode when I was going to see people's reactions. The next question to King. This event was how I met you, and you were really into this. A few days before the event, you messaged me on Discord, and I have the DM here for us to read out, please. I'm going to copy this into the Discord. And I'm going to do a dramatic reading.
Of course. Action. Dude, I know I was doing my room, but I just had a banger idea. If in your Capture the Flag tournament you had like cool stuff to spice it up, like TNT arrows, or everyone gets glowing, or everyone gets shuffled around, I can do commands if you want me to send you some.
Nah, it's okay. I'm not planning on making changes to the tourney, and it'd be an unfair advantage for you anyway.
Yeah, alright, fair enough.
Love the enthusiasm though, and you're more than welcome to join building team for the next event. Now, I never actually lied.
Technically.
I never lied. I wasn't planning on making changes to the tourney at the time. But what did you think when you realised that the events were actually going down, including some that you actually suggested yourself?
Well, to be honest, I didn't even clock onto the facts that it was like, wait, I suggested this. But you told me after, and I was like, wait, hold on. This is actually kind of cool. I'm basically psychic now.
Yeah.
But I think I predicted like a good couple of them.
Yeah, well, technically, everyone did get glowing when they picked up the flag, and everyone did get shuffled around as one of the events.
That is true.
Also, there were TNT like bombs set around the map as well.
Yeah, so that's sort of half points for that one as well.
Yeah. I think the idea was just I was very, very excited about it, and I hadn't talked to anyone in the server because I turned up like a week before, so I didn't talk to anyone. I was like, I have some really cool ideas, so I'm going to tell them anyway. You probably don't care.
So we've already talked about the first event being the zombies. Our second event was the forest fire, which wiped out a lot of the mixed forest, swamp, jungle and spruce forest biomes. I think some of you are actually underground for this one, but how did you guys react when you found out that this was happening?
We came up from the cave like right as it started, and then Motion was on the other side of the map from what I remember, and we were just trying to get to him because he just kept burning, he kept running into the trees. So I think our team was the only one that like got hit by that, but it wasn't that bad eventually. It still left like mushroom biomes and stuff where we could still get food.
Yeah.
Something I remember happening in that was I think North was out. Because I remember North running, going, the forest is on fire, the forest is on fire, running towards the cave where blue team was hidden, I'm pretty sure.
Well, North's always been a bit dramatic, haven't they?
Oh,
this is true. As we said before, with the first two events, me and Nero wanted to do something quite chill or natural seeming, but we wanted to go out with a bang for the last event of the day, which was the Anvil rain. Now, this would have been so much simpler and easier with a plugin, but at the time, we could only use mods because of what we were using for proximity chat. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. So we had a whole load of barrier blocks in the sky, and then section by section, we turned them into anvils all at once with commands, which, my god, the lag. Did you guys get caught up in that, or did you only realise what was happening from the death messages?
We only realised from the death messages this was like when we were still underground trying to mine.
That hit us so hard. That is the thing that wiped us out. Like, because we were all on top of the mountain, it was either jump down the mountain and try and run away from the falling anvils, or just get hit by the anvils. We all died like twice to them. And that was like just before Orange Team had already like raided us and took our stuff. So after that, we had nothing, which was kind of the prompt for the thing that happened after.
The funniest thing of that event I found was that it was very obvious which areas had been hit already and which were yet to be hit. But some people thought it was clever to move to a clear area and actually got hit for a second time. And I just found that absolutely hilarious.
So I remember because we met up with, I think I'm almost sure it was Yellow Team because it was Uno's team, us and us and Yellow Team. We all met up in the middle, like right after all the anvils had fallen because we came out of a cave, as far as I remember. And then we were like, we think it stopped. We thought it stopped, and then the middle area got hit by it, and we were just running around. And I tell Motion, I believe, I go, look, if you build 3 up and 1 across, you can block your head. And then anvils started falling, and I did that. Both, I think Uno, Gerald, Motion, and Minnie all died except for me, and I managed to get Minnie and Motion stuff while Yellow Team was trying to steal it from us as everyone like died around me. So I saved my team stuff in that sense, you know.
Can I just say that, like, I was so happy that people died because it might have not looked like it, but the majority of the space was actually empty. Like, it was only like 1 anvil for every 5 blocks. But because everyone was running around, they all got hit by the actual anvils that were falling. So it was very happy to see that they all got, many people actually died from that, because we weren't sure if anyone was going to die from it.
Yeah.
Say this, but me, Uno, and North were all standing fishing together at the time. Completely still.
Bad luck.
And all 3 of us just immediately got hit.
Right, that fishing spot you had, that was about 20 blocks from the entrance to my North's and Gamer's cave. Like, we dug out that mountain. Well, we didn't dig out, but we hollowed it into that mountain. And your fishing spot was so close to it. I think that's the reason it was found so easily. And we lost everything because of it.
Well, it was kind of
Yeah,
quite
we
a
were-
distinctive landmark as well.
We were both about 10 blocks away from that fishing spot. Like, our
Yeah.
base was just the other side of it.
Yeah.
That was like the benchmark for Blue Team as to how far the borders had moved.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that because that's where we were getting our food because we were so hungry. So we were living off of raw salmon. But eventually it was like, okay, now we've only got like 8 blocks to get salmon. We were being starved out by the moving border.
Every hour the border would close in, I think it was 10 to 20 blocks. At what point did you guys notice that that was happening?
When we were like going out for food, we didn't notice it originally. And then me and I think it was Gamer, we went out for fishing. Was like, is this getting smaller? And then we went out like maybe twice more. I was like, yeah, there's like 2 fish. No, we can get like 2 fish. We're having to go like a lot further to get any kind of food. So because we were being starved out by the moving border, we noticed it pretty quickly, I'd say.
I think it was like towards the end of it. I think we were trying to set up a place for our flag to go, and then like I think we came back to the border because we wanted it to be right next to the border, and then we came back to it after a bit, and we're like, wait a second, this border's shrunk. And it was like panic ensued because we had to like redo our entire plan for where we wanted our flag to be. Because like the entire time we're just like, okay, we're gonna have our flag in like one of the corners, like really far away from everyone. And then when we noticed the border shrink, we're like, damn it, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, funnily enough, when you first made a request for a location of the flag, because everyone had to have it approved by the mods, basically because the admins knew that there was a shrinking border and there would be some places that would get cut off on day 3. You were the only team who actually came up with one that was would have been outside the border initially.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I don't think you told us that it was because the border was shrinking. You just said no.
Yeah. We didn't
And
know.
we're
We didn't know if you'd actually figured it out or not yet. So we're just like, nope, can't have it there. Try again.
Rest assured, we did not figure it out. There was genuine panic. I think probably from Rin and me, just like, our plan just does not work. What do we do?
Maddie, you and the rest of Orange Team actually got caught outside the border as it shrunk.
Yeah, so that was fun. Me, Minnie, and Motion, we were all on the very edge of the border, which we didn't know that it shrank at the time. So we had our chest there with stuff in it, just collecting our loot, because we had like I believe we had at least enchanted diamond or at least diamond armor. And the border shrank, and then we panicked and started running in the opposite direction that the border shrank, not realizing. So we all died about 30 blocks, and then when we respawned, we noticed all of our stuff was gone. Everything in the chest, all of our inventory stuff, everything was gone. We had to start from scratch. So that was the most depressing point in the whole competition, to be honest.
Well, funnily enough, you were the strongest team before that point, and you very quickly became the strongest team after that point. So I don't think it particularly hindered you that much. So we've talked about the day one events, but when we closed the server, that was the end of day one for you guys, but not for me and Nero, because we had to go and clear all the anvils by hand, and also set up the event for that hour, so that it would already be going when people logged in the next day. Because we couldn't guarantee that people would show up on the dot of the hour, so it had to be sort of pre-prepared. It wasn't a huge thing this time, we just spawned in some charged creepers for people to discover as they were going about their business. So we'll jump straight to the next event. This definitely screwed some people over more than others, but everyone swapped places with another person on the map. North Dot here, I know he got stuck underground in someone's mine for 10-20 minutes or so. Where did you guys end up?
I was in spawn at the time. I swapped with someone right next to me. So, I didn't even know I'd swapped until someone afterwards said everyone had been swapped.
For like a full team, there would be one person that swapped with one member of every other team.
Oh, so during that, I think me and Minnie were together, and Motion was just on his own, and Motion swapped and didn't tell us, so we didn't know what happened, like, at all.
When North swapped, because like Gamer's mic was cutting out, it really was a bit of a scramble to try and get North back.
They were like right at the end of a mining system.
Yeah. I don't know who they
proud
swapped
to be
with,
the
though.
creator of that mine. It took a lot of time. I made it.
Well,
I don't know who else was in there, but I dug it.
And sometime amongst all this, early on day 2, Blue Team, you kind of gave up on the actual event and decided instead to start a cult. How did that come about?
Well, see, the thing is, right, when you're a theatre kid and you're on a team with another theatre kid, you both know that you're not getting the job done, but you are going to make good content, right? So what happened was after, like, Orange Team raided us in the volcano and then the Anvil thing, we had nothing. We had to start completely again. We didn't realise that pretty much everyone else was in a similar position. But instead of starting again, we thought, you know what? It's lore time. So we ran to the furthest corner we could find in the most desolate area. It was like a snowy plains kind of place, and we just set up a shrine. And then we just came up with the most rubbish things, like we don't wear armor in the Holy Land, and calling people godless animals if they don't follow the path, and believing in the power of the admins. Like, because we lost everything was like, it's just the admins testing us. We built shrines and prayed.
To which the gods did in fact answer.
They did. We got gold armor, which we absolutely refused to wear because it was against the moral code.
It was
That
holy
was us
armor.
trying to get you to actually take part.
I would say, I don't mean this in an egotistical way, but I think we carried the second episode. Purely just out of, like, we made full chants and everything. And then we went on, like, expeditions. Was karaoke night on the second day? Or was it the third day?
I can't remember.
I think it was third day.
That was third day.
It was
Third
third
day?
day.
Oh, okay.
Was that towards the end of the third day, right?
Yeah, I think it was just before the final thing.
Just before we all started fighting.
Yeah, but as like a show of goodwill, was like, you know what? We have no weapons, we have no armor. We want to show people that we're peaceful. So what's gonna bring people together like a bit of good old sweet Caroline in the bottom corner of the map? So what we did, we built a shack, we built a stage, we got some water bottles. I'm pretty sure we renamed them something like hard booze or something like that. And then I spammed in chat karaoke night at these coordinates at sunrise, at sunset even. And then the only person who turned up was Minion.
And funnily enough, Orange were convinced that this was a trap.
I was convinced. I was convinced it was a trap. I'm like, Minnie, don't go. You're gonna die. So,
And you know what? We had a lovely night. We
I
had a
stayed
lovely
back
night
and
of
I
drops
did
and sing
enchants
song.
for my whole team. Actually, it was just me and Minion at the time. But my whole team, I helped with enchants while Minnie just went and sang. So it worked out
Exactly.
anyway.
I bet you
Well-
was jealous in the end, though.
I mean,
I was very
me
jealous.
and Nero also had a great time, so...
It was
We had a
good. It was
brilliant
fun.
time.
It was fun. There is no better feeling than belting out a bit of Sweet Caroline at 9 o'clock at night.
It was beautiful.
Whilst playing Minecraft with your biggest enemy and God. I was playing Minecraft with my biggest enemy, God, and singing Sweet Caroline.
How can you get a better night?
Exactly.
Can I just add to with the whole cult thing was initially me and Wraith had agreed that we weren't going to interfere at all, but it was so hard not to when they were going praise be the admins, all they do is divine and glory, and you're there like, oh, you're way behind every other team. Oh, maybe we should give them gold armor that's terrible, and or like this horrendous like stick or something, you know, just to make it clear and set
And
fire around them or something like that, but doesn't actually give them any boosters.
Yeah.
And then we
It's
turned it into a
hard.
sign. And then we turned it into a sign that, like, the admins are here. It was so good. Like, it was definitely worth it. It was very funny.
Boo.
That's what happens when you put two theatre kids next to each other and say
Yeah.
fight people. They don't. They make law.
I know Green Team also very much embraced the whole cult aspect of it and fully got involved in the cult.
Yeah,
well.
North was like a disciple and went down to Green's base, spread the good word.
To be fair, that was probably one of my favourite moments of the entire thing. It was getting the messages from North and King and just be like, hey, do you want to see our deity or something? And then like they took us down into a cave and we were like, me and Rim were kind of scared because we were like, are we going to get cornered in this cave? And then it just turned out it was a really, real nice little cult. So we kind of just vibed with that. And then we still use the joke to this day, just between me and Rin.
I think we shared like the holy water. We found like
The
a little bit
Fountain
of
of
a water.
Youth.
The Fountain of Youth. We found like some water underground and decided, yeah, this is magical. So we all bathed in it and then said, bathed in it, and then said, praise be the admins for all they do is divine and holy. And then literally nothing happened, but it was funny.
Dude,
Funnily enough, no,
that.
we panicked because me and Nero, we were like, hang on, North's calling this the Fountain of Youth. What if we actually made it the Fountain of Youth? So while you and North were upstairs doing whatever culty business you were doing before Green
lighting
got there,
fire
I
something.
think. Nero was completely visible down there trying to get commands blocks in to give regen effects if you were standing in that pool.
So whenever
And
you
we
stood in that
never
pool,
went
you
there
got
again.
regen. It worked.
We never went down there again.
I know. It was so sad. Actually, wait. I think North went down there once, but didn't
Yeah.
notice.
I think one person may have noticed, but I don't think it ever went anywhere. It was just sort of like an offhand, oh, have I healed? But unfortunately, the border, when the border shrunk next, it took out the Fountain of Youth anyway. So,
Yeah. We were right on the border.
Mm.
I tell you what I do remember though. Because we were like, no, we're a passive community full of love and hope. We absolutely won, but we'll get to that later. We decided, no, we're not going to touch weapons or armor. Instead, we're going to get snow golems to fight for us. And we ended up having like 50, 60 snow golems at one point. We had an army going.
yeah,
And then they ended up doing nothing.
yeah, and you asked the gods for pumpkins, and me and Nero did actually donate some pumpkins, and you never noticed.
Oh.
You so
we
many
lost
of these things you never noticed, and it was so sad.
Yeah, like
Well-
we put pumpkins on the feet of the the statue, the admin statue you made.
We noticed that. I think we like made a shrine at, like we put a torch in him or something and went, it's a gift from the gods.
That was earlier on. It was for pumpkins you did not notice for the rest of the series. It was very sad.
Yeah. I suppose you must have just thought that the other person, the other one, if you put them there. We decided to have something a bit calmer for the next hourly event, so we just gave everyone a sequence of random effects. Levitation, followed by slowness, followed by blindness, followed by a minute of invisibility. With the idea for this would be if anyone was in the right place at the right time, it could be incredibly useful, especially the invisibility. But I don't think it actually helped anyone particularly.
I think I died to a skelly and a zombie because of that. Because I didn't notice the flying initially because we were in like one by two tunnels, just like trying to find ore. I was already trying to like attack a zombie at the time, and then it was like, I can't see. And so I just kind of got destroyed by this zombie, and then a skelly spawned because I wasn't able to light up the area because I couldn't see it. That was probably one of the more annoying ones, just like because I died like a bunch to it, and I'm pretty sure Rin and Jamie might have died, but don't quote me on that.
I'll say, because of like the whole cult thing, I think me and North both got hit with levitation once, and we're like, the gods, they're taking us home. Of course we made a scene of it, because why wouldn't we? But everything after the whole cult thing was to do with the cult. There was no point in the entire game show that we didn't reference the cult at some point.
And the last event of the day was the Withers, which messed up quite a bit of spawn, but nobody wanted to fight them for obvious reasons. I mean, what exactly are you going to do with a star? So we got rid of them by the next day, but one that did have considerable impact was the one me and Nero set up between days 2 and 3, which was perhaps our most evil creation. We set up a 100% invisible minefield with command blocks hidden underground with about 20 mines total hidden across the map. Now, these were completely unavoidable, but if you had armor and full or nearly full health, you could survive a blast. Did any of you get caught up in a mine? And if so, what did you think when that happened?
Our team hit like 8 of them. We hit so many of them. I think we just kind of gave up trying, but like we just North exploded in chat or something. It's like, yeah, okay, just a normal Saturday afternoon.
Maybe it was a sign from the gods.
Maybe.
Multiple times it was set off, and multiple times I think 2 or 3 times I didn't get my footage for sure, but 3 different times I landed on half a heart. And it scared the shit out of me every single time. I'm like, I swear, I was like yelling that this is biased and this is unfair because I kept getting hit by it. Like, I think Minion got hit by once, also landed on half a heart, and it was not fun. And it was also like right before the capturing of flags started.
Yeah.
I went to go get some extra mushrooms just because we were running out of food. I'm like, okay, this is the last thing, I'll be up. And then as I leave, I get hit by one and land on half a heart. I'm like, oh my god.
That is incredibly lucky.
Yeah, it is. I was like in full
obliterated.
diamond for sure.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
When you say the mines, was it the creepers that were named Uwu?
No.
Or was that something different?
No, that was something different.
I don't really remember a lot about the mines, but the Uwu I do remember very clearly, incredibly clearly. Because I think it was me and Jamie, and we were like really scared because we were just like running around on the on the overworld. And we were pretty sure that Minnie was following us, and there was no way we could take on Minnie, because I think he had like full diamond enchanted, and we're like, fuck, let's run away. And then we ran past like a thing, and I saw a name tag, and I was like, oh, that could be a treasure. It was not a treasure. Dug down and just immediately died and lost like half of my stuff. I was like, fuck's sake, Wraith. And so I permanently had the death message. Sam was slain by Uwu or exploded by Uwu, and I hated it. I hated that thing.
Uwu.
Yeah, I don't really remember the mines. It's probably underground.
The last hourly event we did before the finale started was block swap. So before the entire event, me and Nero picked a player-made block that we thought somebody was guaranteed to use for a base, and we figured oak planks was going to be pretty safe. When we originally picked this, we were very sure that this was going to absolutely destroy a team, but as I recall, the only thing that was really made of oak planks was a tower up to Orange Team's base, which, funny enough, was already the most defensible and owned by the strongest team, so we were a bit put out by this, but for fairness' sake, we had to go with what was predetermined, and also a little bit of the interior of blue base.
Yeah, I think blue walls.
The interior, the entire castle and the walls are made out of wood. The entire thing was on fire. It was a little bit more than just the
I remember the lava
entire thing
lake
was on
now.
fire.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's because it only had a little bit of oak planks which got turned to lava, but the whole wall was made out of different sorts of
Oh,
planks.
yeah.
which
Yeah,
all
so it just
caught
took up the
fire
whole
and
lot.
Spread.
Everything was on fire.
Slide
It
for the
worked for
gods.
us perfectly for Orange Team because like we wanted to make. I made a plank tower up because I wanted to burn it all the way up so no one had anything. And then as I was doing, like, as I got up top and I was going back down to do it, it just turned to lava. And I don't even think I noted about it or anything because I was going to burn it anyway. So it worked fine for us.
I don't think it didn't really affect us at the start when it first happened because we were holed up in the spruce forest. So, like, it didn't affect us. But we were running through the oak forest every now and again trying to get mushrooms for mushroom stew because that was the only food we could get. So, like, when we went back there one time and it was just full of lava, we were like, fuck, what do? We literally don't have a food source anymore. And I think we ended up stealing some from King or something. But it was like, we knew we were, like, really, like, screwed over because we could not get any more food.
Before we talk about the finale, there was another aspect to this whole event. Every day there were some extra challenges. There was a daily treasure hunt with a series of riddles to get to a treasure chest with some loot, which included diamonds, netherite, god apples, and a totem of undying. I think Orange Team got every single one of those. What happened?
Yeah, let's go. No one. Yeah, we got every single one. The first one was like contested, but I don't even remember the other two being contested at all.
The thing is, me and North were like, oh yeah, we've got this easy. So we looked for it for all of about 40 seconds, then we gave up. Because our team motto was, if something's difficult, give up, make a cult. So we gave up pretty easily. And then we just didn't bother looking for the other ones because we were like, everyone's already got like full armor. It's going to be a fight. We don't need it. It's just going to be like diamonds or something. What can we do with diamonds? So we just didn't bother with it, to be honest.
First one, I found the first clue and then spent about 40 minutes searching the wrong lake for the next clue. And just to find out that I think it was Maddie found it.
Oh yeah, we found it, and then we replaced the cactus and said, North, I think it's this cactus. Try it. And then he went down, and then I think I just murdered him. Somebody murdered him. It was either me or Minnie.
North did nothing wrong to you. North did
Who's our
nothing
guinea
wrong.
pig? I don't know.
We solved like 2 of the first one because we were already in the jungle because we had the obsession of trying to get pets for a while. So I think we were like in the jungle for ages trying to get a parrot, and then we found the exact tree for one of the clues, and we're like, holy shit. So we went up and I think we solved like 2 of them. And then I think Minnie got there way before we could like get to the end prize. One we got scared of by Minnie, and then Minnie got it by himself. So we're like, okay, we're just gonna leave that. We don't need netherite anyway. Netherite's for pussies. And so we just left it and went back to try and get parrots. There's an entire arc of us trying to get parrots. We were just like, wait, we can get a parrot? 'Cause I think Rain got the first parrot, and then Jamie got the second one, and then we spent ages trying to get me a parrot, and then I think we used up all the parrots in the area. So we came back on the 3rd day and got a parrot.
In addition to the treasure hunts, every player was involved in one of 3 short challenges. So 1 player per team did each one. There was a bounty hunt, a time bomb, which just killed the player after 5 minutes, and a labyrinth that players were teleported to and trapped in until they either died or found the exit. Besides being a total waste of your time, how did you guys find those?
I felt bad. North got teleported everywhere, but He was the one who got teleported to the maze, but he didn't have a clue what to do. So it was just like, guys, I'm in a maze. I don't know what to do. Oh god, there's panic, incomprehensible panic.
I know for my team, I was part like on the bounty hunt. I was it, but no one like came to look for us because we were probably the most overpowered team at the time. The time bomb happened on Mini, but I just kept Mini in a 2x2 hole and just told him to drop all his stuff down in a cave, and then he came back and got it, so it wasn't that much. But the labyrinth, if I recall correctly, Mini was teleported into the labyrinth, and then when he got out and motion logged back in to give us his stuff because he had like an emergency, he couldn't attend. He got teleported into the labyrinth or something. I don't remember, but I remember Motion being in the labyrinth and we had to help him get out so he could give us his stuff because he had to go.
I think Motion was the only person who was due to be in the maze, but wasn't there at the time that everyone else was there. And in fairness to everyone, everyone had to do one of the events. So as soon as Motion logged on, we just teleported him. We had no idea that there was some sort of emergency happening. This is actually the first I've heard of that. now I feel slightly bad. But yeah, no, we just teleported Motion straight there as soon as he logged in. Halfway through day 3, the finale began. All the teams had decided a flag location at the end of day 2, so when the finale started, the admins placed the flags. There was a beacon just above them to broadcast their position to the other teams, and there were 4 podiums in the middle of the map which became active at that point. The aim of the game was to steal the opponent's flag and bring it to the tower in the middle. While you had the enemy flag, you would be glowing so that the enemy would have a chance to get it back. And if you place the flag on the podium, it would set everyone on that enemy team to spectator mode and they would be immediately out. Now, everyone knew Orange Team was the biggest threat at this point, and there were a few different plans that were going on. So, King, we'll start with you and your incredible strategy. Take it away.
Okay, so I went with the whole mastermind trying to think of what everybody's going to do on the server. Yeah, all 12 people are trying to think what they would be doing and how they would be working, and where everyone was and who I was friends with, and what I could get them to do, right? Before I go over the plan, a few things I needed to note. On the karaoke night, I kind of made like a bit of a pact with Minion, like, hey, maybe we're not so bad after all, typical Netflix movie kind of rubbish. But it was like, if you need help from me, ask me. If I need help from you, I'll ask you, right? And then we kind of had that pact going, right? At this point, was friends with Green Team because the whole DOMINUS ADMINIUS thing, the cult, and Yellow Team, they were kind of the outliers, but it was manageable. But the whole thing was, I rendezvoused with Yellow Team and was like, hey bestie, if from what I gather, we're not going to win. We don't really have a chance because at the moment it'll either be Green Team or Orange Team, right? Because they're the most stacked. Because if I remember correctly, Yellow Team wasn't that stacked. Yellow Team had something against Orange Team. I could be wrong, but I said, like, I would rather Green Team win than Orange Team because I'd rather someone who follows faith win rather than the godless animals who call themselves Orange Team. Or something along those lines. And I was like, yeah, you know what, fair. So, yellow, green, and blue formed kind of an alliance, a very, very temporary alliance. Like, let's get a Green Team to win, right? So the plan was, someone on Yellow Team has logged out right above where the orange flag is. So I was like, okay, so they're going to log in when I give a signal, but we don't want Orange Team to be at their base when that person logs in. So, here's the complex plan. If I get some of Yellow Team to attack us, I could then get the person on top of the flag to log in, grab their flag, and then get Green Team to almost chaperone them to the thing and defend them, right? That would eliminate Orange Team, right?
Yeah.
And then I said, if we could do that, I would be happy to sacrifice myself a second, right? And whoever comes out on top from yellow or green would take first, right?
Yeah.
And everyone agreed to this, right?
Yes.
This was the plan. So it rolled around, capture the flag time, deathmatch time, everyone can die now permanently. And I shouted yellow over to come attack us. Like, I messaged them, like, come attack us.
Oh
And
yeah, some
then-
great acting from
Yeah,
Gamer Guy.
Yeah, this is when it all went wrong.
It's probably a good job the Orange team weren't actually coming up at that point, because from Gamer Guy's acting, I'm sorry, but it would have the cat would immediately have been out of the bag.
I'm getting attacked.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing was, we shouted a yellow team over, right? And then I messaged orange team. I said hot dogs. Hot dogs was the keyword. If hot dogs was in chat, that means we was being attacked, right? So I was like, come here, quick, we're being attacked by yellow. I was like, on our way, buddy. And then they never turned up. We'll get to why in a minute. But then there was just kind of an awkward phase where it's like, okay, dum-de-dum-de-dum. Gerald, was it you who was on top of orange flag?
That was me on top of it.
Yeah, you logged in way too early.
But I actually got messages from Uno, which is why I logged in, saying we're under attack. They're going after our flag. We need you now. Which is why I logged in,
Oh,
thinking if I take Orange's flag now, they will run back to their base. But then I logged into them all in their base. I was just confused.
though you did manage to stand there attacking the flag for quite a long time before anyone actually noticed you.
Oh, it was a good 40 seconds I was punching that flag, but it just wouldn't break.
The footage was incredibly confusing because I remember I was watching that on your stream live, and I was just watching it and going, "Hang on, why isn't this breaking?"
It just
I
straight up-
was there, like in inspector mode, just watching, like, what's going on? Why are you not breaking it? Like, are you just keep clicking it? What?
I was told it was a barrier block at the time. I went back to the footage, and the flag is clearly outlined the block I'm punching, but it just never broke.
But to be fair, like, even if you did break it, there's lava underneath. There's no way for you to jump down without, like,
If you
us seeing you glowing on our base.
if you remember before the what's it called actual day, I went over that entire lake and obsidianed it.
Really?
Entire base
Oh.
around your tower was obsidian, and
Really?
we had quite a few little water spots placed at the bottom I could jump into.
Yeah, it was fully set up for him to jump down straight into water and run away.
Yeah, because as soon as because I think the day before Orange, you guys actually logged off a little bit early, or you were away from the base for some reason.
Yeah,
And-
we had to leave
Locked
early.
off.
All three of us. Yeah,
Yeah,
we had to leave
and-
early.
Gerald absolutely pounced on that.
That's why before we left, though, I'm like, someone's gonna raid us, even because we're logging. Like, we all had to go early, so we're like, just put everything valuable in your inventory, and we're
Mm.
fine. And that's why there was like nothing valuable in those chests.
I don't think I even looked in the chests I just built. So I was
Yeah.
just terrified you were gonna log in.
Yeah, well, you managed to like perfectly predict where the flag was going to be.
I mean, there was a 1 block nerve pole upwards.
True, yeah.
It was-
Yeah.
But yeah, afterwards it was just a big scramble because I had nothing. I don't even know where the rest of my team was.
At blue base. Bad acting. Someone at orange team stayed. I was like, wait, our flag's being attacked. And I was like, oh, fine, okay, I guess I've got to go to maintain this pact, right? So I went with them. Green team didn't have a clue where they were meant to be. Yellow team, like half of yellow team was at blue base. North and Gamer was also at blue base, and Gerald was at orange. So no, everyone was all over the shop. But after that, the cat was kind of out the bag. But we were eliminated almost immediately because Orange saw us and just eliminated us immediately. Because someone by the name of North, who we now refer to as a godless animal, or my more appropriate name for them, traitorous scum, released the entire plan to Orange Team, the entire plan. Because, you know, fair game or whatever rubbish he thought of.
I thought it was a pretty good plan. I think it might have worked if we actually got it working, but no, Northwood went, sorry bud, can't have that happen.
So Orange Team knew, so they were just playing with me. So my kingdom was crumbling, everything went wrong, we were eliminated first, and then immediately after, I think it was yellow team eliminated
Yeah.
because of my shenanigans.
Oh no!
Wait, sorry. So who eliminated who for yellow and blue team?
I can't entirely remember, but
I
I
think
know
North
I know
eliminated
orange
blue
wiped
team.
out blue. I know orange
might be
wiped out
wrong.
blue.
Was it North on blue team?
North was on blue.
North eliminated blue team.
I'm pretty sure he was
Yeah.
with Anvil when they.
Yeah, no, I was so confused when I saw it happening.
Yeah, what?
So North had eliminated both yellow and blue team then.
How?
Yellow, I believe, were
I
were
think
fighting orange. If I'm correct.
Orange. Yeah,
Orange
because I
wiped out
remember
yellow.
hitting someone in diamond armor with my fist. Because remember we.
Yeah, there was a massive battle in spawn
Yeah.
between orange and yellow because orange had the yellow flag and it was constant to and fro.
We were in the middle of spawn, right at the top of the tower.
Yeah, I remember that. The big
whole-
flying platform that you had that was.
Oh my god,
lava.
yeah, no, I remember that. No, we did take out yellow and then North eliminated
Yeah.
his own team because we kept going after yellow. I remember that now. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, we kept getting after yellow, but no one ever took our flag because green was very passive. That's what let us win, basically.
Green wasn't passive; they were defensive. There was no way you could take Green's flag. That was their thing. It was like we're not going to attack, but we're not going to
Except
let
that they
people take us.
did. Except that orange did take the flag. So
We figured that, like, because we have such a big network of tunnels just underneath the entire map, and we mostly knew them anyway, we thought we could, like, probably, like, tunnel trap them or something, and because it was, like, in one corner, we only had to defend two sides. So if we set it up in a way that, like, it was very easy to defend, because there was no way we could go on the offensive, because, you know, like I said before, they had full diamond. There was no way we could actually take them on, like 1-on-1 or like even 3-on-1. None of us are good at any of the combat stuff, and we all had crap gear, so we were like, let's just defend. But I mean, it didn't really matter anyway, since they instantly found our flag and just hid for like 15 minutes right behind us. So it didn't really work in the end, but we really wanted to not face them if we could, and you use the tunnels to our advantage.
unfortunately, with Capture the Flag as a game, it is impossible to win if you're not playing on the offensive. And unfortunately,
incredibly defensive.
green sealed their fate by just staying with the flag the entire time when it was down to green and orange.
Yeah, once it was 1v1, there was no chance that green could
Yeah.
win. Except their base was very well hidden. At that point, I think every base was found except for greens.
Yeah, well, they did have massive beacons over the top.
Apart from
Posted the chords to us in chat.
So, Maddie, what was your team's strategy for the finale?
So once myself and Minion, because it was only two of us, Motion had to leave because of an emergency. He didn't make it for episode 3. So basically it was 2v9 until North came and helped us. So that was great. Basically it was a 2v3, us against green team. And somebody said that they were in a corner. I don't remember. Maybe North had told us that they're in one of the corners. So Minion went looking, and I'm just standing near spawn, like trying to kind of protect us, but also notice if they're coming. So after like a 30-minute ordeal of Minion trying to mine down into it, I didn't know what was happening. So I was just sitting, losing hunger as I'm trying to desperately get mushrooms for mushroom stew to revive my hunger bar. I see the 3 of them coming from that corner, and Minion's nowhere to be seen. So I'm like, what the hell happened? And then they went to the opposite side because they didn't notice where their flag was. And I was standing right next to like the podium where Minion had to place the flag. And they were standing on the opposite side where they could have easily killed me. I was low on hunger multiple times. It was like 3v1, but they were just waiting there thinking that their flag was all the way over there. Eventually, Minion did end up running with levitation. And yeah, I told him to end
Levitation?
Sorry, not levitation.
Glowing.
Glowing, my bad. Yeah, glowing. And then Minion eventually, I should have just made a staircase for him, but I didn't know what green was doing. They were just standing there. So I was kind of like watching green. And then eventually, after Minion got hit multiple times, he eventually got up with water and then placed it and won. So yeah, that was epic. Yes. We won a 2v9 basically. Well, North helped us a lot, which is the only reason I think we won there.
Yeah, like if the plan had been stuck to, Orange would have been wiped out like first because
I reckon
like
Orange would
everyone.
have being wiped out. Yeah.
Everyone knew that, except Orange apparently, everyone knew that Orange was the strongest team by far, like the entire way through.
And also, everyone hated Orange because they've been killing them over and over again.
Yeah,
So
because
it was like a strong. Everyone was like, right, we're getting Orange out. I don't care about everyone else.
they're tryhards.
To be fair, King, you know what a better strategy would have been? If you all 9 just rushed our base. It probably would have worked in a 9v2.
It wouldn't have been as dramatic.
That's also fair, yeah. But like, we still won, so I'll take it.
As much as we could talk about all this for plenty more time, I will cut this episode here. Thank you to Nero, Maddie, Gerald, King, and Sam so much for joining me to talk about this.
Sayonara.
Bye.
I also want to say a massive thank you to my Patreon supporters Pelandreth, Maddie, Sam Gallant, and Rinzeon, as well as give a massive congratulations to Sam, who I heard today is pregnant.
You're pregnant?
What? How did you know?